Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey, everybody, it's Tom here with Screw the Commute podcast. This is the special youth episode. This is my first special youth episode where I plan to feature outstanding youth who are starting and running businesses and are making a difference in the world. Now, right now, there are lots of youth who are making a difference in the world, but that difference might not be so good. I like the ones who are making a good difference, and who better than to kick off this special episode than Tiffani Hockings. I've known this young woman since she was a little girl, and the first day I met her, I knew she would turn out to be something special. And you'll see that too when I bring her on in just a moment. Now, I encourage anyone listening to this to send me notice of outstanding youth who you think would be good candidates for a special episode on Screw the Commute. Now, they should be running a business or a nonprofit, and I'll run it by my secret board members, and we'll try to select at least one young person a month to do a feature. All right, today's sponsor is the Distance Learning School, the Internet Marketing Training Center of Virginia. Don't even think about retraining yourself or sending your kids to college until you check out our webinar on higher education. I do not want you wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars and putting yourself and your kids under crushing debt. The webinar is at screwthecommute.com. All right, now let's get to the main event. Tiffani Hockings is the founder of Discovering Me Mentor Program and the author of the book Discovering Me, Because a Girl's Life is an Adventure. She graduated from Liberty University with her degree in psychology and life coaching. And now she's found her own passion of helping the next generation of girls discover their life purposes. Tiffani, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
I'm thrilled to have you on here. But before I get into all the things you've been doing, I want to tell everyone about when I met you. Okay.
Okay.
I was staying at your parents' home for some reason. I don't know, we were doing an event together or something long time ago, and you were just a little girl. Mm-hmm. And I got up in the morning, and I'm half groggy, and I'm hearing an audio play. And it's the Count of Monte Cristo. Cristo. I said Crisco. I think that's how bad I am.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't know, you must have been, 8, 9, 10 years old. I don't know how old you were, but
Probably.
you were listening to the Count of Monte Cristo. I thought, this girl is going to be something one of these days, because I have no idea to this day what that show's about, but I know it's famous. So she's brilliant. So you grew up in an entrepreneurial family. In fact, that's how I met your dad. So tell us about what it's like growing up in the entrepreneurial environment that you did.
Well, it's very interesting actually, because every day kind of looks a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really see my dad, go off to work and then come home and talk about his job. I got to hear about the businesses during lunchtime because he would, come out to the kitchen while I was doing school. I was homeschooled too, so
Right.
I got to see my parents a lot. So I would see him during lunch, and he'd explain to me, what was going on in the business he was working on at the time. And he even let me start, doing things for my family in their businesses. I would just, I would address envelopes, or I would go into the offices if they had one at the time, and do, work on the computer and data entry, or, anything that was just able to help. So I got to really learn, even from a young age, how to have a work ethic,
Mm-hmm.
how to bring value to people, to have a passion for something, to go for that passion, to make a business out of it, to help people, and then also to see what the freedom was like of not having a 9-to-5 job where you only get, 2 weeks of vacation time.
Right.
If you work a lot during the week, you can have your weekends off, or you can, take a day off or take some time off during the week. You can work on the weekends. So it was very interesting. And I saw a lot of the pros and cons because some people like to have, that job security, but it can also be boring.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, um, yeah, I think I was very blessed with the family that I grew up in, and it's gotten me to where I am today. So,
Yeah, and I never met a homeschool kid that I didn't just fall in love with because it's the parents care about education, and
yes,
the kids learn. I think they learn better because they can learn on things they really like and take off in directions and not be stuck in a exact curriculum. Although, yeah, you have to learn certain things in math and the
hmm,
proper language and spelling and all that.
right.
But you can probably imagine you did a lot of things like this Count of Monte Cristo. I can imagine what you started listening to after that, if that's what you were listening to at 8 years old. I mean, geez. So
Yeah.
I got a surprise pop quiz for you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, yeah. I don't expect you to know it, but I wouldn't be surprised if you did know it. All
Okay.
right, so here's the deal.
Hmm.
One of the first power bars in the world, considered one of the first power bars in the world, had two main ingredients. What were they?
Oh, goodness. One of the first power bars.
She's probably looking it up on Google really fast while I'm.
I'm let's see, off the top of my head, goodness gracious, I would think sugar is probably in it.
Well, indirectly.
Let's see.
All right, I'll tell you. It's a trick question
Yes.
anyway.
Uh-oh.
Deer meat
Oh,
and cranberries, because you love cranberries, and there's
I
one
do
sitting on
love
your desk
cranberry.
because I researched you before I got you on here. What's
Yes,
that? What's up with that? You're a cranberry fanatic?
I am. Oh my goodness. I don't know why, but I just love them so much.
Well, I think that on one hand, if you just have so many of them, it keeps you from getting kidney stones. But if you have too many, you'd get kidney stones. So you better watch
I know I might turn into a cranberry one day.
it. You actually have. That was also an Irish rock band.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, the
in the
cranberries,
'80s,
right?
the Cranberries. Yep.
I actually have heard of them, yes.
Yeah. See, so now you've got a new worthless piece of information
Yes. Thank you
about
so much.
cranberries. You're welcome. All right. So tell us about what is the Discovering Me program? What is it?
Okay, so the Discovering Me program is a mentoring program for teen and young adult girls. It's all online, it's interactive, and then it's designed to help these teen girls discover their God-given life purpose and help them with their confidence in their identity and what they're supposed to do with their lives.
So you say it's only online?
Correct.
Okay. And
Yes.
and are you going to have any live events? Because as soon as I heard about this, I'm picturing you in front of thousands of teens and their parents at big events, and you're the big superstar. And since I thought this up in my head, excuse me, you have to make it happen. So
Yes, absolutely. Because you've said it, it's going to happen
that's
now.
right. It has to be.
Yes, I would definitely love to do that. At the moment, there's nothing planned, but that's life. Things are always coming up, always changing.
Hmm.
So,
Well, yeah,
um,
this is in its formulative stages. Now, people can sign up now, right? It's ready to go, but it's
absolutely,
in the beginning stages.
absolutely,
Sometimes people do what they call charter memberships in the first, so many hundreds of people that sign up, and then they lock that price in forever. So that's something to think about. And
yes,
people do love that term. I was at the beginning. I was a charter member, and if they quit,
yes,
see, they can't. If they come back, they have to come back at the higher fee. So that makes them not want to quit. All right, so just a
absolutely.
little sidebar there for you. Now,
Thank you.
what if somebody wants to coach with you one on one, or have their daughter coach with you one on one? Would you do that?
Yes, actually, I would. That is something that I do not have, currently at the moment, but it's definitely something, again, in the planning stages. I would love to very soon, actually, even be able to offer that. My passion really is to connect with girls one on one. in person or over Skype or,
Hmm.
something like that, and be able to actually help them with their specific, whatever's going on with them specifically. There are a
Right.
lot of general things that pretty much every teen or young adult girl will face. And so that's what the program is for. But then there are just, specific issues that just only a few girls face. And I would love to be able to just kind of walk alongside them through those. So yes,
I'm
one-on-one
sure you've
coaching.
probably helped some people for free, or right? Probably just talk to a lot of people that ask you questions, right?
Yes, true.
Yeah. Now, how did you come up with the idea?
So this is an interesting question because it's basically something that I wish I would have had when I was growing up. I was an only child and homeschooled, so I had socialization. I had, those older girls that I looked up to for sure, but I never really got a chance to kind of ask them questions or kind of open up to them about what I was personally going through at the time. And so, if there were things I was going through, I might have thought that I was the only one, walking through those, because it can be so easy to look at the people
Hmm.
that are kind of further ahead of you
Right.
and think, oh, well, they have their life together. They never went through what I'm going through. Their life is perfect. And kind of getting to the age I am now, I'm realizing, that's funny. There's no way that their life was perfect. They were going through the same things that I was
And
going
you're
through.
23 now, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Now, I know that you are very close with your mother, but
Yes.
that's not the same thing, right? As have as having a sibling or someone your age.
Yes, absolutely. My mom is amazing,
She
and I
is
would.
she is awesome to the nth degree. I agree. It's just different though.
It is. It is. Yeah, I would definitely consider her my best friend, but at the same time, she grew up in a different generation than I did. She didn't grow up with the internet and social media and, the standard of beauty being, the supermodels. And so for her to say something encouraging to me, or to, help me walk through something, I'm absolutely grateful for, the words that she spoke into me. And then at the same time, I still kind of wanted more, like someone who actually really related
Hmm.
to my specific place in history, even, with what's going on in the world.
And
Um,
that's funny you
yeah,
say your mother grew up in a different generation because she still looks 12 years old, and that really
so
sucks.
true.
Yeah. So, but and for all the parents listening out there, yeah, you can be the greatest parents on earth, and nobody's taking that away. It's just different to have somebody in your age range that's right there in the trenches with you, and they will understand certain things better. So,
Yeah.
any parents out there thinking, "Well, I don't really need this. I got everything together with my daughter." Do you really? That's what I wonder. So,
Yeah.
so what all do they get in this thing?
So the first thing that they get, so it's a year-long program,
Hmm.
52 weeks basically. So whatever day they start at, that's when their, week one starts.
Now, what if
So
it's a
they have.
leap year? Do you give them an extra video or something?
Oh goodness, now you're gonna make me think about it.
Well, yeah, you got to plan your business carefully. You don't want people complaining on leap years.
So true. I guess if I just say, they'll get 52, videos, it'll be 52 weeks, no matter what.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Yes, so they get 52 weekly discovery videos, is what I'm calling them. And each video is going to be about a specific topic that teen girls generally will most likely face at some point in their lives, whether they're going through it right now or they probably will once they, graduate high school or start college or something like that. And then they'll get newsletters that have articles, interviews, fun little things, member profiles, member submissions, those kind of things. And then there will be 12 monthly online get togethers. So the girls can submit questions that they want to hear me answer live. And then they'll kind of be able to get together on like a group call kind of thing. And then a personal assessment template will be sent to them at the very beginning. It'll just kind of help them track where they feel like they currently are in their lives, and then help them kind of see how their journey looks, kind of assess their progress, I guess you
Hmm.
could say, as the program continues. And then the last thing is my book, Discovering Me Because a Girl's Life is an Adventure. It's kind of like a companion book. So each chapter discusses a different piece of discovering your life purpose. And so with certain programs, well, it's all the same program, but certain memberships, I guess you could say, you can either get a free copy or you'll have the opportunity to purchase that.
Okay, so you said your mother was another generation from you. I'm like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 more generations, like your great 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 grandfather. So
Funny.
so I'm wondering, what are some of the issues you're talking? I'm thinking bullying, dating. I mean, I don't know, fashion. What are the issues that kind of issues you're going to talk about?
Yes, definitely. I definitely talk about friendships, cliques, bullying, because cliques are something that kind
Hmm.
of is a new, maybe not a new thing, but definitely something that happens these days. Identity, how to deal with authority, because I know a lot of in this generation, there's a whole lot of empowerment going on, and you have your rights as as a human being, and that is so true. But then also realizing, there's an authority over you as well. You have your teachers, you have your bosses, you have your parents. How do you respectfully, handle authority while also making your own decisions? How age kind of plays into your dreams. If there are age restrictions, how do you still go for those? Your values, being kind, confidence. How do you overcome things, overcome obstacles? Just a lot of things like that.
Wow, that could go on for 500 weeks. I mean, a lot of the issues that.
Yes, I had to narrow things down to 52.
Yeah, and what are the weekly online things going to be like? Are they going to match that week's video, or just be a free for all for questions? And how's that going to work?
Yes, so to kind of what's the word? Rein things in, I guess you could
Hmm.
say. That's why I would have the girls submit questions previously so I can kind of choose which ones kind of go together. Maybe even make a theme. There's a lot of questions about, certain this certain topic, or this certain fear, or time of life. And so I would definitely make sure to um, choose a theme, basically. So it's not a free for all, and there's a purpose for it.
And did you figure out what platform you're going to use to do that?
At the moment, I'm looking at Zoom.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
I've had good luck, very good luck with that. I mean, we're doing Skype right now, but because most people have Skype and know Skype,
true.
but Zoom is coming up really fast, and I've never heard
Yes,
anything bad about it.
yes, it is. I've heard great things about it too. And so basically, I will be using whatever is good at the moment. So if at some point Zoom doesn't become good, then I'll find something else to make sure that it's still a good experience for the girls.
Yeah, as I was researching this a little bit before I talked to you, I totally agree with the teen girls need consistent positive influences from someone who is relatable, just like you. But and it's not a celebrity. There's been so much celebrity
Mhm.
hype, and a lot of the celebrities are not good role models to start with. I mean,
Mhm.
that's I'm really glad. Except you're going to become a celebrity, so I hope you can remember us peons when you hit the big time,
Yes,
and they
the
give you
little
the big
people.
show and movies about Tiffany. Um,
Oh my.
well, no, it's going to happen. You're only 23. I mean,
Mhm.
already predicted when you were 8 you're going to be great. So there we go. So,
Thank
but more seriously, I saw something where you said at some point a young girl says, "Why am I here on this earth?"
Mhm.
Talk to me about that.
This is a question where I think everybody goes through this, but I can't speak for everybody. I can only
Mhm.
speak for, girls that, you're born and you have a limited amount of time, that you only live once,
Right.
phrase that flies around. And you want that time to matter. You don't want to just live your life and then come to the end of it and go, okay, cool. That was fun, I guess, like, but what did I do? And I think that we all have something innately in us that says, we want to matter. We want to do something that makes a difference. We want to have a purpose, or else, why are we getting up and out of bed in the morning? Why are we going to school? Why are we doing anything? And so to find your place in this world, I think is just such an innate
Mm-hmm.
thing that just everybody goes through, and especially teen girls when they see, the role models, like you said, the celebrities that they seem so perfect, but how relatable are they? How can an ordinary teen girl per se make a difference in the world if they don't have the same kind of platform that the celebrities do? And so that really just struck me because I believe that everyone does have a purpose and everyone can make a difference. It's not always going to look like, a movie star or a singing artist or something, but everyone has an opportunity to touch even one person's life or to have an impact on their family, or make a difference in a job. And I just really wanted to encourage girls that they can find something. And I do believe that there is something for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now the one thing I'll dispute with you a little bit is that celebrities seem so perfect. Some of them, to me, seem so imperfect,
True.
and so I mean they do a lot of bad behaviors. They're in court half
Yes.
the time. They're in rehab, and we certainly don't want to go down that path. Just to have celebrity and money is certainly not worth selling your life out for. That's for sure. Um,
Absolutely.
but
Yes.
speaking of money, how much does it cost to join your organization? And
Yes.
it's called what again?
Discovering me.
Discovering Me. Hmm.
Yes.
And that's at
Uh,
discoveringme.com for people who would like to see a really cool website that I threatened to duplicate with me instead of Tiffany dancing around with an umbrella. so
yes.
so
And I said I would love to see that.
Oh, a lot of people would love to see that until they got sick. Uh, what's it cost? What's a membership cost?
So monthly, if you just do month by month, it's $29. If you want to pay for the whole year up front, or in 3 monthly payments, it's 116 in 3 consecutive months, but you'll get the entire um, 52 weeks and all of that. And then if you want to pay for all of it completely up front, it's 319 and you'll end up getting a month free. And then with both the second option, so the 116, for 3 months and the 319, the girl will receive a free copy of the book as well.
Okay, so that's cool. Now I've got an idea, and use our platform here a little bit. And this was not mentioned ahead of time to Tiffany, but I suggest anybody out there that has connections to companies that you sponsor scholarships. So you pay the fees on behalf of
Oh,
a worthy girl, or have a contest, or have an employee essay contest of why my daughter should have this, or I don't know. We can work the details out later, but
hmm
um, and I think I could probably talk Tiffany into, if you sponsored 10 or 20 young women, to give some kind of discount. What do you think, Tiffany?
Yes, I'd be willing to definitely talk about
Yeah,
that for
sure,
sure.
sure. So we'll figure out some group discounts for corporations that want to get involved in something really,
hmm
really good and powerful that's going to help a lot of young women. And I'm going to bring this up, even though this is a very upbeat thing today. But there's this bullying stuff, and young women are committing suicide because
hmm
of some of the bad things that are going on. And when somebody like Tiffany steps up and does something about these things, that deserves a lot of support. So any companies out there, if you have a connection to any company, please get in touch with Tiffany and do something. Like I said, it'll be great for the community. It'll be great for your employees, but get the young girls involved. And it certainly would be a tiny, tiny amount of money compared. I mean, I've speeches, Tiffany, at luncheons that cost $1 million to a company, just the lunch.
Wow.
So think how
Wow.
many girls you can, if they get rid of that lunch, let's see, $1 million divided by $300. I don't know.
Yes.
It'd be a lot of,
That's a lot of girls.
yeah, it's a lot of girls you could help. And there's this big stadium that's going to fill up when you're on stage. So I like that idea. So we got to take a brief break. And when we come back, I'm going to ask Tiffany what's a typical day like for her now, building this business, and what keeps her motivated. So, folks, do you know what colleges and universities are doing? According to gradeinflation.com, they're raising grade point averages to make it look like they're doing a better job of teaching when there's a mountain of evidence that they aren't. So I want you to watch the eye-opening higher education webinar at screwthecommute.com to potentially save yourself and possibly your loved ones, friends, and neighbors hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt when they go for higher education. Just go to screwthecommute.com and click on free webinars. Set yourself about 90 minutes aside, and it will definitely be worth it, whether you're going to college, whether you're in college already, whether you have kids, nephews, nieces, neighbors in college. It's potentially saving you enormous amounts of money. So check out that webinar. All right, so back to our main event. Tiffani Joy Hockings is with us, and she is with discoveringme.com. It's her brainchild to help teenage girls. And what's the age range, Tiffani?
Probably from about 16 to 22.
16 to 22,
Yes.
with lots and lots of life issues. So wonderful. We really love that. So before I get to what's a typical day like, I'd like to know, how did you kind of decide, well, I'm qualified to do this? What makes you think that? Just because you are a girl in that age range, or what?
So this is something actually that I have asked myself ever since I kind of started to develop Discovering Me. And it really got to me at some points while I was, doing this and thinking, well, why am I qualified? And to be completely honest, I had to realize that I guess the reason that I feel like I am most qualified is because I'm not perfect. And I'm still going through things. I'm still learning things. I have definitely, because of experiences that I've had and just, I've gotten out of my teenage years. I've graduated college now. I can look back and see, this is what worked. This is what didn't work. These are some tips that I've learned. But at the end of the day, I'm still learning too. And I think that people do not relate to perfect people. People relate to people who do have struggles, because that's where they are too. And if I can come alongside and use the experience that I've had and I'm still gaining to encourage a girl, and to just help them along through life, because everyone's life is going to look different anyway. Just because, somebody may seem like they have it all together, it doesn't mean that everybody's life is going to look, cookie cutter exactly the same. So there are some general tips and tricks that I've kind of picked up along the way about, how to overcome fear if you're in a new situation, but that doesn't mean that I don't still get fearful sometimes. So I guess at the end of the day, what makes me qualified is that, yes, I was a teen girl. I have gone through these things, but I'm willing to admit that I don't have everything all together, and that I'm learning too, but that I have been through, what these girls are going through, and, just share the things that I've learned.
Yeah, and you did major in psychology and life coaching, which I didn't even
True.
know that was a major nowadays.
Yes, it is. So that's where some training has come in as well, for sure.
Yeah, and I kind of teased about that term because in the coaching industry, there's so many people that never did a thing in their whole life want to be your life coach. so I kind of rag against that. But I mean, you took the time to go to a whole college about this and study and learn, and I know that you've been doing things all your life, even though it's a young life, but you've done more in your young life than a lot of people do in their entire life. So I really applaud you for that. So what's a typical day look like for you?
So typical day right now looks like creating the content that the girls will see. I purposefully didn't create everything first and then start or launch, I guess, Discovering Me. I wanted to make sure that the content was relevant. Just for an example, a couple weeks ago, I actually went through a situation where I had to realize, like, hey, I need to be more confident in this area. And it happened to be the same week that I was deciding to, write, what I was going to say in my video about confidence.
Okay.
And it's very interesting how that has happened a lot with a lot of these videos that I've done, where I already kind of went into it thinking, okay, I've got this down. And then, I went through a situation, thought, well, this is perfect to share now because I have even more insight. And so a typical day really does look like, sitting down, seeing what kind of inspiration I have to write about these topics, either for, an article for the newsletter, or, to write down what I want to say in a video to the girls, so that everything is just stays relevant, and it's not forced, because that was the last thing that I would want, to just, write or do something for the sake of doing it. I want to make sure that the content that I put out is quality, and that it's something that I can stand behind.
And what are you doing about video? Because your dad and I have a long history of video stuff together. How are you shooting us?
I'm actually shooting it on my iPhone 8
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
with an external microphone, and
What kind of microphone you use? Do you know?
it's called a Purple Panda.
Okay. Yeah. No, because it's been difficult to get an external mic into iPhones, so we're always
Yes.
looking for ones that people actually like.
Yes, Purple Panda has been awesome. I would recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so what's nice about having the iPhone too is that, with the tripod, I can take it on location,
Right.
so to speak. I've been able to go around a lot of places where I'm kind of sneak into some places
Yeah.
too, where I wouldn't have necessarily, been able to, maybe with a huge
Right.
camera and
Right.
filming crew. And also I feel like it makes it look more real. Like, this is just me, I'm not trying to have a whole studio
Mm-hmm.
production. It's a conversation, sharing my experiences, and I'm shooting it on an iPhone.
You're going to interview anybody?
I will be interviewing, or yes, there are interviews in the newsletter. And we'll have to see. Like I said, not all of the videos at, the very end weeks have been completely finished yet. And I'm always open to redoing some of the videos that I've already done if
Yeah, but
necessary.
we'll get somebody else to go with us, and you and I will dance through the city of wherever you live with
With
umbrellas.
umbrellas.
Yeah.
Yep,
And you
I
can
can see
interview
it
me
now.
while we're at it.
That sounds perfect.
All right. So the website is discoveringme.com. Did I read somewhere there's a sample of a video there or not? I don't remember.
Yes, there is. If you go to discoveringme.com, you can enter your name and email address and
Oh,
get a
okay.
sample.
Good.
Get
Okay.
a sample of one of the Discovering Me videos. It's actually a sample of one of the videos that is actually there. So you'll see, like, kind of half of what the video would look like. Kind of get a feel for, you know, just me.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
me, and how the videos work. And yeah, so I would love.
Great. All right. So go over to discoveringme.com. We'll have that in the show notes for you. And Tiffani, will you come back and let us know how it's going after a while?
Absolutely, I would love to do that.
Yeah. So this has been the first of an ongoing special series on great entrepreneurial youth. So check out all Tiffani's stuff in the show notes for this episode. And remember to watch the webinar on higher education. Tiffani, I love you to death, and we'll catch you on the next time.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.